Hi everyone, I'm BR from Ambiguous Pieces YouTube channel. I'm going to do a series of videos called Finding Planner Piece. It's named after the Skillshare class by Guentert-Baldo. My apologies if I've mispronounced your name. Let me know if I've got it wrong, sorry about that. I'll leave links to all of Cindy's social media platforms, a YouTube channel, a website, the Skillshare class. I'll leave links to all of that stuff in the description down the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to explore my current journal system, just in contrast to the journal system I'm hoping to install or improve towards. So I'm hoping to get to a particular goal. I'll just show you where I'm currently at, because I think it's good to explore what you're currently doing before you improve it. It could be stuff that you're currently doing that actually works, you just need to change it slightly. Now these two journals I have in front of you, more importantly in front of me really, these are two journals I'm going to be using for blogging and social media stuff. Now this one is a mini happy planner, and that one's also a happy planner, but that's a classic size. I'll just explain the sizing system just briefly. Now this is a mini. You can tell it's a mini because it's got 7 rings down the side. Now I understand that I've changed the rings to classic size ones, so these are medium sized discs. Now the reason why I changed them so that I could put more things in the planner, that didn't work, but in principle normally it does. See, these are large ones, these are large expansion discs, and these enabled me to put extra piece of paper into the planner. Yeah, so those are large discs. The reason why you can tell that this is a classic size is because this has 9. So classic has 9, and by classic I mean essentially medium. So mini happy planner is small, so small, and then medium, and then big is large. Like I don't know why you wouldn't just call them small, medium, and large and just have standardized things, but you know, this is why we can't have nice things, I'm afraid. But yeah, so small is 7 discs, medium is 9, and large is 11. I don't have any sort of large happy planners, I don't use them, so in fact I just, I did have some large planner items, but I managed to rehome them to other people and hopefully they'll help them a lot better. The reason why I'm moving from the mini happy planner here to this one is essentially because, meantime, just mostly because of expansion. With the blog, I was hoping to be able to do blog ideas, sort of notes, reading goals, blog post goals, just sort of general social media tracking, that kind of stuff. But I can't fit all of this in this planner. It's too small, even with the extension rings. I added these sticky notes, and I added the 3 sets of classic dashboards, like the pink, the clear, and the blue, and it was too much. It's like, nope, that's it, we're at full capacity. So to me it's like, well, that's not really helpful, sort of functionality wise. I mean, I really do like these sticky notes. I think they've been really helpful. I've been able to use them in a whole bunch of different ways, so I definitely recommend these, or just, you know, I'm not too fond of the classic size sticky note packs. I just don't like the look of them, but these ones are quite versatile and they're nice. I'll just show you sort of the general layout of this. We'll go to further in, let's see, yeah, that'll do. So this is the general layout, calendar sort of section, which is good. I quite like it. It also has a little top 3 priorities over here and just sort of a notes section. Now let's pretend that you're like me and you have gargantuanly large and messy handwriting. That sort of notes section over here is almost laughably small. The calendar itself is actually pretty good. I don't mind it, but the problem here is that, well, it's attached to this divider, so I can't really reuse it for next year. I can use the cover and the rings, but the contents, no. I'd have to buy a whole new planner. And like, well, you might as well buy a whole new planner. But, you know, I don't, that's kind of one of the problems I have with the Happy Planner brand in general. This is sort of the weekly, do that weekly dashboard sort of situation. Now you've got errands up here with a few top points, and then you've got to buy over here, and then you've got calls / emails, and then bills to pay, and then a focus section down here. Now maybe you could do that to a tracking sort of habit tracker thing for the week, and I think that would work. I mean, in principle I think this section works really well, but I found myself not really utilizing it. Like I'm using this particular blog for, this particular planner for blogging and social media. So these sorts of categories doesn't work. I would end up either using the sticky notes to cover up stuff and then putting other things, which is fine, but as I said, I wasn't really using it. Then on this side, there's a habit tracker section over here, so you could say, like, say, reading, or even like water intake, whatever you want to do. And then you just tick down the side here, yep, I did that on that day, so that's great. And then it has these little boxes here for writing, like student-wise or even sort of academic planning. I think this would actually be a good planner. I mean, even just personal stuff, I think it's actually a good planner, so it's It's not that I don't like the planner, I really do like the colours. It's just more, it doesn't really work for what I want it to. There's also the reality that as I'm Australian and we don't have access to Happy Planner stuff in person, we don't have stores that stock it. Everything's got to be bought online if you want to buy Happy Planner things. That can be a little frustrating too, especially since I myself am not particularly good at paying attention to those little finer details. I honestly think that Amazon Australia could really benefit from just having really basic clear stuff. Like this is like just sort of general layout, like, you know, size I think is the problem there, that there's a lack of clear labeling and sizes and things like that online. Now I could buy a 2020 Happy Planner that's dated and then go through it and then correct all the dating, but I'm going to be super honest with you, that is a lot of work that I do not feel that I am in the headspace for. I just don't think I'm up for that sort of thing. With this type of planner, it's an undated planner, more expensive, which is a little frustrating. How it works if you want an undated classic size Happy Planner, unfortunately. So that's also something to consider. As you can see, I've put the larger discs here so I can put more things in. I've only done roughly from October to December because I'm not really sure, like I've got a general idea of how I want to use it, but I'm not sure if that's how I want to continue with the next quarter. So I'll just show you October through to December. I haven't set everything up just yet, but I'll just show you the general idea so you can see what I'm aiming at. Okay, so that's the inside there. So I've got some stickers here in a folder. I've got these stickers. I got these from StellaBeauStickerCo. It's an Australian Etsy store. I'll open them up so you can see the full pack. Where is it? So there's that. There's nice sunflowers. Oops. So there's that sort of general icons there. Then some little these there. Some boxes. I was hoping to use the sort of yellow ones for December because I've got a colour scheme sort of going on with October is red, November is orange, and just December is yellow. So I was going to use yellow for December and stuff, just keep the other pink sort of thing. And there's that. Yeah, so I'll leave links to all the stationery I'm just referencing in the bottom. So I'll leave links to that down the bottom as well, so you can check that out if you want. Put that in. I'll deal with that later. So there's some hexagons here that I got from StickersByAshleyK stickers. So StickersByAshleyK. So there's the website at the bottom there. Cute little stickers. So yeah, I have very much a rainbow theme for my planner. These are just some other stickers that I have. So there are some YouTube film edit upload ones, and there's some to do their sort of header banner stickers. These are from StellaBeauStickers, the same place with the sunflowers. Okay, there's some hexagons, and this is from Coral Collective, the Australian Etsy store as well. Nice little watercolour there. I'll just go back in there. Okay, now as you can see, there's a few just black marks. It's just me just trying out the stencils. What I really wanted to show you was this bit here. Now, this is my key. So I just have the key like task, like just sort of general stuff there, and this little key tag there. What I really want to show you, where is it? Oh, there it is. Just gonna say I had it just before. So these are sort of sticky note things. They're like sticky notes, like they come in different colors. I wanted to use the pink one, but it's quite difficult to get this out without ripping it, so you're better off just starting from the start and working your way backwards, which, you know, is a little frustrating if you had a particular color in mind, but, you know, those are the breaks, I'm afraid. So I'll leave a link to where I got this online. I got it from Amazon, but I saw it and I thought, ooh, that's really good. I mean, a lot of people use it for sort of like book indexing and things like that, but I thought it'd be really great for a key, you know, really useful. But as it is a post-it note, I was scared that it would fall out, so I made sure just to use some clear tape and to tape it in. So that's all done. Now, this section here, I'm planning on using it as a monthly overview section. So this is sort of monthly overview for September. So I've got WordPress stats, ambiguous pieces Tumblr, writing Tumblr I have, and then a Facebook page, that sort of thing. And then one of the big components of the Finding Planner Piece lesson class that I got on Skillshare was just sort of learning how to separate the two sort of items there, just to give you a closer look. And the two main themes that I have in my bullet journal is that I have personal organization and project management for my sort of creative projects and blogging and writing. And the thing is that I was really struggling with was that I needed to separate these two things because they were fundamentally, well, they were different aspects. I mean, they're important aspects, but they were taking up a lot of room in my bullet journal. But it was sort of a Frankenstein half-assed mess. So I'd have some personal stuff in there and then some blogging and reading stuff in there, and it wasn't really helpful and it didn't really give me a position to be able to grow or expand on it. So this is essentially, with my normal bullet journal, I'd have a reading goals page. So this is it. So I've just amended it. I've used the stencils up there, just sort of testing it. And that's stencils too. These are stencils as well. It's just my messy handwriting on this side. So essentially just October, November, December, and assigned. Now the reason why it's called assigned is because I have a monthly reading goals and sort of monthly themes. Like October is paranormal horror sort of style books, November is steampunk historical, and December is sort of fantasy adventure. So it's kind of like, well, what books have I read that fall within the genre sort of guidelines, and which ones did I actually read? And sort of that was, I think it's actually a pretty good comparison to go, what were you supposed to read versus what you actually did get read. These are all just sort of general blog goals and tasks. I use the stencils up there, and just sort of under normal circumstances I try to aim for 6 to 8 blog posts on my blog, which I haven't done. I also try to aim for a minimum of 5 books read per month, which, yeah, I doubt this can happen. I doubt any of these things are actually going to get completed, but I just like having them there, I guess. The illusion of normalcy not working. One of the things I found really helpful with Cindy's class, I believe it's a different class, not the Finding Planner Piece, but the sort of a procrastination project class, which I really recommend. It's just sort of how she demonstrates breaking stuff down into smaller chunks. Like, I've always really struggled with that. I found it really difficult, but with that project, a lot easier. Like how she sort of demonstrated was really good. I started with goals and tasks because your tasks that you're doing on a monthly basis should lead towards your goals. There's a difference between being productive and just, you know, being busy. This section is sort of review and improve, so it'll be my quarterly goal thing. So at the end of each month, I'll be all like, let's review October. What did you do well? What could you improve? Good. So that then way, every month I'm sort of building on it. This way, you might not be able to see, but yeah, it's important stuff up the top, just sort of dot grid there. So if I want to brainstorm or, you know, just sort of write for 15 minutes just thinking about what I want, just sort of general notes, I can just put it all there. That's fine. Like, there's one of these pages for every month. Now on this side, because it's the beginning of October, I've put all my quarterly pages here. So I've got blog and vlog here, where I just write down all the blog posts and the vlog posts I did for the month to get 6 blog posts per month. I haven't really been doing that well since I don't have a job. I've been really struggling with that, to be honest. I found it a lot easier, even when I wasn't working as much, to be able to focus on my blog. Now I just focus on job hunting most of the time, and pretty demotivating, really. Doesn't really leave a lot of mental real estate left over for creative projects like this, but I'm trying anyway. Worst things happening in the world. Yeah, I hate to sound like first world problems, but yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Now I've got habit tracker here. Now you may notice the habit tracker up here looks a little strange, and there's a reason for that. So with the stencil set I've got, they have the word habits, and it's just habits, just in that same size. But I was hoping to do habit tracker, so I used the rest of the stencil to sort of stencil set to use it. But as you can see, like, habit is one size, and then track is another, and it's huge, and it looks really bad, or at least it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, I suppose. So I've just got all of my social media stuff, like, you know, making sure to update my journal and if I'm reading and things like that. So I suppose my big shift with my bullet journal is essentially taking out all the social media, blogging, reading stuff. The hours on YouTube I use, separating that from personal. So that's been helpful. Now I'll just show you from October, November, and December. So I'll just show you those 3 months because I haven't really done much else. I'm just sort of still setting this up, really. So I'm adding a bit of transparent numbers here. So the black numbers you can see, they're for October. There's a little October up the top there, little October up the top, if you can see it. Next to it, yeah, that's supposed to be a pumpkin. I'm well aware that it doesn't look like that. I tried to use a stencil, didn't really work, as you can clearly see. There's a section for notes here, which is good, but if I don't want to use it, I can put stickers and stuff there instead, so that's good. Transparent numbers there. I'll just show you the first week. Now, on the side here, I've got these 3 boxes. So I've got ambiguous pieces like WordPress blog, and then they've got other social media platforms, then YouTube videos, podcasts. So those are the 3 sections, so that's how I work. And then I just put them in the relevant categories. So Instagram comes under other social media, so I just put that here. And there's September, or the last few days of September really. And there's October up there with a flower stencil, and just a fleur de lis there as well, because it's just testing out the stencils. And then that's when October actually begins. Now I've put weekly up here just to show that, yep, the week's begun. But I honestly felt it was a bit pointless, so I didn't do it for the rest of the weeks. Because, you know, obviously it seemed kind of pointless because it was really obvious it was the rest of the week. So yeah, there's that week. Just Instagram updates there just for the meantime. And then just dates of the week and the red dots up there. Oops. Okay, so I'll just skip ahead a few pages to November. Now what I really liked about this planner is the overlapping aspects. So you can see up here, there's the beginning of November there. So that's good. And then I've got like November up the top there. And that's all good there, because that was kind of the frustrating things about having a bullet journal, is that you'd have to update all that stuff yourself. Whereas this kind of built in. So yeah, so this section I'm going to plan on using as sort of the October monthly overview section. Sort of some general notes here. So I have some more piece of paper. Then I have the monthly overview section here. So I've got goals, tasks, unfinished tasks, reminders. And as you can see here, I've just fixed up the habit tracker. So I've just got habits there and just November 2020, and it's all relatively the same size. Like, they're both stencils. I mean, they're both different stencils, but it doesn't look super weird. And then just sort of general stuff I'm tracking. So we'll just have a look at November. So it wasn't until I started looking into Cindy's pens and classes and just sort of her lettering classes that I began to sort of notice something. Like with November, like it's all orange and things like that, but you can see down here little gold ones that I'm using for December. They smudge everywhere. Now there's a reason for that. Turns out with gel pens, they smudge everywhere. It takes ages for them to dry. I know I'm clumsy, but I just thought, what is wrong with me? They're going everywhere. It's like, it turns out it's not me, it's the gel pens. So yeah, so there's just October up the top there, just that overlap, and then there's November there. I haven't put in orange boxes for November just yet. I've just gotten the rainbow stickers I intend to use that, because I got the colourful boxes sticker pack, but it didn't contain orange stickers, and I wanted to kind of stick with the colour thing. So I'll be putting in that soon. So there's just the orange stuff up the top, because I ran out of the yellow stickers, the little circle stickers there, so I'm just writing in the dates there. Let's just skip ahead. Okay, so this is December up here, as you can see, and because the yellow text or yellow fine liners weren't particularly visually good, or just it was difficult to see stuff, I decided to go with, I'll use gold and yellow. So there's December there. I have little circle white stickers there, and that'll be the monthly review. So spare note pages there. Now I tried using yellow stickers there. I mean, it looks fairly yellow on camera, but on my end it's a neon yellow highlighter color. So it looks fairly yellow perhaps on camera, but it's quite difficult for me to read on my end. But yeah, just monthly overview, goals, tasks, unfinished task, reminders. And then I've got sort of habits over here and December, and as you can see, as per typical with the gel pens, just smudged everywhere, which is, you know, super. Look, I know it's not the end of the world, as I said, first world problems, but, you know, it's kind of frustrating. But I'll just show you this last thing. So there's sort of the last few days of November there in orange, and then the sort of black numbers for December. And then the last 2 days of January in there in green. So that's just for December. I've got a fair bit to do with that one still before I think it's really good to go, but I quite like it. I like with the vertical columns how it has more room for me to write stuff in, like it's a lot easier. Whereas I felt with the mini happy planner, there wasn't a lot of room for me to write stuff. Like it was either I did an update on my blog post and that's it, or I did an update on Instagram and that was it. Whereas with this, I can update multiple social media platforms and still good. Like I've still got plenty of room. And I can also add in like other ideas or even just sort of, well, like one of the big problems that I had with the mini happy planner is that I'd find a channel. I just want to write down, oh, YouTube channel, I'll look into that later, but I don't even have like, so let me know in the comment section down below if you have a blog / social media planner. Do you have it completely separate from your personal stuff? Do you use Happy Planner? Like what size do you prefer? What type do you like? It's okay if you also don't use it. Like if you're like, oh no, I don't use Happy Planners, I use X Planner, let me know too. Like, you know, I think it's good to know that sort of information. Like the more resources we can have, the better.